Boom. You sitting there scrolling, thinking your actions are small? Oh, nah, not today. Your kindness, your patience, your quiet grind is about to explode. You don't even realize it. But the universe is watching, and the impact, insane. Imagine this. You, just being you, living life, helping, giving, saving smiles, easing struggles, unknowingly, unknowingly, saved a billionaire. Oh, they never saw it coming, but you held the power. Silent, unstoppable, untouchable. Yeah, you've been overlooked, ignored, underestimated, dismissed, but the stage is set, the ledger is ready, and the moment, it's about to hit, like fire. Every small act you thought meaningless is now the reason fortunes survive, empires thrive, and worlds shift. They mock your softness because they cannot see the blade hidden in it. You've moved through life like a shadow, unnoticed, dismissed, and underestimated. Oh, they watch you, scoff at your generosity, whisper behind your back, labeling your quiet gestures as weakness. Yeah, weakness. How convenient it is for them to think that kindness is a currency of the naive. But here's the brutal truth. The smallest, quietest act of goodness has a weight they can never measure. And the universe, oh, it notices. It never forgets. It collects. It waits. Every word you've spoken, every hand you've extended without expectation, every glance of compassion given in silence, it's not lost. Nah, it's waiting. Lurking in the folds of fate, like a predator lying in stillness, it grows stronger with every moment they laugh at you. The world may never see it, they may never acknowledge it, but what they fail to understand is that power is not always loud. Sometimes power breathes quietly, building momentum in the shadows until it explodes. You've probably forgotten the faces you've helped, the small crises you've calmed, the struggles you've eased without anyone noticing. Oh, the irony is delicious. You think you act in vain, yet you've been tilting the scales of destiny with invisible hands. That gesture, the one you thought meaningless, has a ripple effect reaching far beyond your imagination. Far beyond the street corners where you gave hope, the offices where you offered encouragement, the quiet corners where you lent strength to someone too timid to ask. And somewhere in a world removed from your everyday life, one of those ripples is about to become a tidal wave. Yes, you, the quiet observer, the unnoticed helper, the silent warrior of integrity. You are about to see the result of your patience, your discipline, your unwavering adherence to what is right, even when no one else cared. They never knew, they never saw, they never thanked. But that doesn't matter. The universe keeps a ledger, and it is meticulous. It does not forgive mistakes, but it rewards consistency. And your kindness, your selfless, patient, unnoticed kindness, has unknowingly saved a life that the world labels untouchable, a man who controls fortunes, power, empires. Oh, the irony again. You might be thinking, how could I, so ordinary, have such impact? Yeah, it's precisely because you were ordinary that your actions were extraordinary. You acted without expectation. You gave without demand. You lifted without seeking glory. And in doing so, you became indispensable. The billionaire, the mogul, the untouchable, survived, flourished, and thrived because of you. Not because you chased it, not because you wanted it, but because you were true. And now, the stage is set. The ledger is ready to balance. The silent power you nurtured is about to reveal itself. The unseen force you built with every small act is about to knock on the door of the world's most untouchable life. Are you ready to see the invisible become undeniable? No one notices the quiet hands until the consequences arrive. Oh, the irony is thicker than the walls they hide behind. You thought your actions were invisible? You thought your kindness vanished into the void? Nah, the ledger never forgets. Every small gesture, every moment you spared from judgment or impatience, every unrecorded act of integrity, it accumulates, it waits, it watches. And now the accumulation is ready to strike with precision. Every time you gave without demand, every time you spoke the truth when deception surrounded you, every time you shielded someone from disaster without taking credit, it was a deposit in a bank that only the universe manages. Wow, isn't it delicious how life doesn't need witnesses to reward the patient? The world may laugh at your humility, but the ledger counts in silence, and it always balances. Always. You don't see it. You can't see the billionaire, whose empire teeters on decisions you unknowingly influenced. You don't know the chain reaction you set off when you offered advice to someone seemingly insignificant, when you showed patience where chaos reigned, when you extended trust where no one dared. Yeah, that tiny spark of action dismissed by the world as trivial has kept an entire empire alive. Think about that. Just think. Patience has a currency. Integrity has a weight. And your subtle actions, unseen, have amassed a force so powerful it cannot be ignored. Nah. It cannot be ignored. Every seemingly meaningless choice you made has brought you to this precise moment. And it's funny, isn't it? The man you unknowingly saved will never know the depths of your sacrifice, the magnitude of your influence. Not yet. But the impact is there. Oh, it hums in the air, vibrating beneath the surface, waiting for the right instant to reveal itself. Imagine the scene, chaos, threatening to dismantle an empire. Decisions hang by threads, fortunes poised on failure, and behind the curtain, a quiet influence, your influence, shaping outcomes that no one can trace, no one can explain. Oh wow. Isn't it insane that the world's richest, most powerful figures owe their survival to actions they'll never see? Yet here you are, unrecognized but indispensable, invisible but eternal in effect. The ledger doesn't forgive negligence. It doesn't reward laziness. It honors consistency, patience, and moral courage. And you've been perfect in its eyes. Every unnoticed act, every silent effort, every selfless intervention, it has prepared a stage for the inevitable. Recognition so overwhelming, so precise, it will shatter their assumptions about the world and your place in it. Yeah, it's coming. And it won't wait for applause. So now, as you breathe in the quiet calm of unacknowledged effort, understand this. What you see as invisibility is power. What you see as insignificance is influence. What you believe is forgetfulness is preparation. The billionaire, the mogul, the untouchable will realize one day with a shock that rattles their bones that you are the reason they endure, the reason they thrive. And when they find you, when the invisible becomes undeniable, will you recognize your own power? The truth doesn't knock politely. It crashes through the walls you thought protected you. Oh, can you feel it? That shiver running up your spine? That electricity in the air that whispers something is about to shift? Yeah, this is it. The moment when invisibility gives way to inevitability. When the quiet deeds you buried beneath everyday life erupt into recognition so intense it cannot be ignored. This isn't luck. This isn't chance. This is the result of relentless patience, of choices made in the shadows, of integrity practiced when no one watched. Nah. Don't let anyone tell you that unseen efforts are wasted. They're not. They are the backbone of every empire, every victory, every survival story. And somewhere across an unseen distance, the billionaire, the untouchable, the one the world assumes unstoppable, has reached a precipice. Decisions hang in the balance. Chaos claws at the edges, and the solution lies in your quiet, disciplined influence. Oh wow. Isn't it wild that one ordinary person could hold the key to a life no one dares touch? He doesn't know you. He cannot see the small moments, the tiny nudges, the words or gestures that prevented disaster. Yet every choice he makes, every move that keeps him on top, every breath of relief is because of you. And the realization will hit him like a storm. One day, it will. One day, the empire he built, the life he's so careful to control, will reveal a fracture he never anticipated. The fracture is gratitude, recognition, shock, and at the center of it, standing quietly, invisible but undeniable, is you. Imagine the scene. Yeah. A man surrounded by wealth, by influence, by countless advisors and analysts, suddenly realizing that the foundation of his survival was not strategy, not calculation, but an act of kindness he never witnessed. Oh, the impact of that moment will ripple through his world. Panic, awe, disbelief, all colliding, and you, calm, composed, unchanged, will watch as the invisible threads you wove finally hold the weight of the world. It's intoxicating, isn't it? To know that everything the world values, money, power, control, could bend to your quiet, patient acts. The irony is delicious. Nah, the universe has a way of honoring consistency, moral courage, and unyielding integrity. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't ask for applause. But when the awakening comes, it will be undeniable. The billionaire, the mogul, the untouchable will feel it in the marrow of his bones, and the realization will not be gentle. It will strike, and it will change everything. And you? You will stand at the center of that storm, not because you demanded it, not because you sought it, but because you lived it. Every unnoticed effort, every quiet intervention, every act of patience, it has led to this crescendo. And the world will see you, not yet fully, but enough to understand that your power was never measured by recognition, only by results. When the invisible becomes undeniable, will you bend under the weight, or will you rise even taller? Even the strongest fortress can crumble from the quietest breach. Oh, feel that tension in the air vibrating like electricity before the storm strikes. The invisible is no longer hidden. The acts you thought meaningless are now pulling the world's attention like a magnet. Yeah, recognition isn't gentle. It doesn't tiptoe. It hits. It rattles every expectation, shatters every assumption, and you are the epicenter. Nah, don't underestimate what's coming. The billionaire, the one whose life and empire teetered on decisions you quietly influenced, is about to see the invisible thread that held it all together. Every small act you performed, every word of guidance, every gesture unnoticed, is about to transform into undeniable power. And he will realize nothing he built, nothing he accumulated, would exist without that subtle, silent force. Wow, isn't it astonishing how the world misjudges patience and integrity until they become unstoppable? The surge of acknowledgement will be overwhelming. Titles, privileges, influence, all will be offered to you. They will attempt to measure your value with gold, with applause, with the recognition the world holds sacred. But here's the truth. Your power has never been measured by what others can see. Your influence has always existed in the quiet, in the unseen, in the moments when the world didn't notice. That is why it cannot be contained, cannot be limited, cannot be stolen. Oh, can you imagine the shock? The man, untouchable in his routines, powerful in every room, suddenly discovering that his survival and triumph hinged on your silent, patient courage? The irony is delicious. His empire, his plans, his fortune, all tethered to the choices of someone he never considered significant. And you stand, unchanged, calm, untethered by expectation, because you always acted from principle, never reward. Yeah, the real weight comes now. Recognition is not just about acknowledgement, it's about testing your response. Will you bend under the glittering pressure, or will you rise higher, untouched, proving that true influence comes from patience, integrity, and selfless courage? The stakes are higher than money, higher than privilege. This is about legacy, about proving that quiet consistency can outlast chaos, outlast greed, outlast every claim the world makes about power. And it will come. The billionaire will look at you, he will measure you, he will try to offer you control, wealth, or access, thinking he can repay what he barely comprehends. But you will see that the reward is not in what he offers. The reward is in knowing that your influence is untouchable, that your patience has reshaped reality, that your quiet acts have determined the course of a life and a world. Wow. Don't blink. Don't underestimate the moment. The ripple you created will hit with the force of a storm. And when he finally grasps the truth, when the invisible thread is revealed, you will understand that recognition is only a shadow of what you already hold, unyielding, unstoppable, undeniable power. And as the world bends to acknowledge the unseen, what will you do with the influence you never sought but have always earned? History remembers the loud, but it immortalizes the silent. Oh, feel it now. That pulse in your chest? That moment when the invisible finally asserts itself? The world will bend its head, stare, whisper, and still, it won't fully grasp what you've done. Nah, they never truly will. They see only fragments, flashes, pieces of the storm you've quietly commanded. But you know. You've always known. Every unacknowledged act, every patient gesture, every choice to do what's right without applause, it has built something untouchable. Yeah, the billionaire, the mogul, the untouchable, will finally realize that their empire, their wealth, their life itself is a consequence of your quiet integrity. The moment of recognition will hit like fire, shock, awe, disbelief. He will scramble to understand how someone so unassuming shaped the course of a life and a fortune. And the answer is simple. You didn't seek power. You didn't chase influence. You acted from principle. You acted from patience. You acted because it was right, not because it was profitable. Oh wow. The elegance of that truth is a weapon sharper than any sword. Every ripple you created in silence has become a wave. Every small act of selfless courage, every gentle nudge, every whisper of support has converged to this instant. And now the recognition is not the point. No, the point is the proof. Influence exists where integrity resides. Power grows in patience. Impact rises from quiet courage. Money, titles and fame are temporary. Your legacy, the one you've been shaping in shadows, is permanent, unstoppable, undeniable. You will see it in his eyes. The realization that the survival of an empire, the triumph over chaos, rested in your hands, and the world watching will murmur. They will wonder how someone so unnoticed could hold such force, and you will smile, quietly, calmly, because you've always known the truth. The unseen is stronger than the visible, the patient stronger than the impulsive, the silent stronger than the loud. Oh, the universe has a strange sense of balance. It doesn't reward greed. It doesn't exalt deception. It elevates those who act with consistency, integrity, and courage when no one is watching. And you have been perfect in that rhythm. You have been the invisible architect of survival, the quiet hand steering the course of a life no one thought depended on anyone else. Yeah? Now, as recognition arrives, as the invisible becomes undeniable, the question remains, what will you do with this power, this proof, this inevitable acknowledgement? Will you bend beneath its weight? Will you let it corrupt? Or will you rise, unshaken, as the embodiment of what you've always been, untouchable, patient, disciplined, and fundamentally unstoppable? The answer will define the echo of your influence for every life your actions have touched. Oh, wow. Take a deep breath. Look at what you've achieved without seeking it. The billionaire survives, the empire thrives, and the world will whisper your name in awe, even if it cannot comprehend you fully. You don't need it to understand your own worth. Your worth has always been visible to the ledger of reality, even when no one else noticed. Your kindness has changed the course of a life. Your patience has reshaped the world. And now, the legacy of your unseen virtue will speak louder than any fortune, any throne, any crown. And there it is. Yeah, the truth you didn't even know you held. Your kindness, your patience, your quiet power just changed a life. Oh, wow. Can you feel it? The impact? Unstoppable, undeniable, untouchable. Remember this? It's not about being seen. It's about being consistent, being real, being unshaken. And today, the universe noticed you. Yeah, you, the silent hero, the one who never asked for glory, just did what was right. And the results? Monumental. So, shout it loud, leave a comment, drop that super thanks, pay tribute to yourself and the invisible efforts you've carried, because the world may not always see, but we see you. Oh, don't stop now. Keep that energy, keep that power, and keep showing the world that kindness is the ultimate weapon. This is your legacy, your moment, your unstoppable force. Remember it, live it, own it, because your kindness is about to pay off big time. Yeah, just like that. Your name is everywhere. It's flying through group chats, bouncing around in jealous whispers, tattooed on the minds of people who don't even like you. Yet they can't stop watching you. Isn't it hilarious? You're living rent-free in the heads of people who swore they were above you. Oh, the irony. You didn't post anything wild, you didn't start any drama, you didn't beg to be seen, you just existed. And suddenly, boom, your name starts trending. People are arguing about you, stalking your every move, obsessed with your silence, your glow, your growth. And all you did was be you. Tell me that's not power. It's almost funny how loud people get when you don't say a word. They're watching you like it's their job, clicking, scrolling, analyzing. But what they'll never admit is that they wish they had your fire, that raw energy, that fearless soul that didn't ask for approval but still took over the room. So welcome to the chaos you never asked for but fully deserve. Because when you're real in a world full of copies, you become a threat. Not by shouting, not by begging, but by breathing. And if your name is causing earthquakes without you lifting a finger, you're exactly where you're meant to be. There's something incredible happening behind the curtain that you might not even see. Wow. Your name? Yes, your name is echoing in places you've never walked into. It's being whispered in circles you never signed up for. And it's being typed, searched, watched, and rewatched. Not because you begged for attention, but because your existence alone shifted the air around you. You might not fully understand the weight of your presence yet, but it's time you did. You see, people don't obsess over ordinary, not ever. They don't track, talk about, or get angry at the invisible. They obsess over the fire that spark. They react to the force, the disruption, the jolt that reminds them they've been standing still. They respond to anything that challenges the dull routine of their lives. And you, my friend, are exactly that. A spark in their dark room, a beautiful disruption. A disruption to their comfort zone. A reminder that they're standing still while someone like you dares to move. You became a mirror they didn't ask for. Laugh softly, showing them what it looks like to rise without permission, to shine without apology, to walk through storms and still smile like the chaos didn't touch you. That's why they can't stop looking, can't stop talking, because your story, your silent battles and loud victories speak to a part of them they've buried. And instead of facing it, they focus on you. They magnify you. They study you. They try to reduce your greatness into something familiar. They pick apart your words, your clothes, your habits, like detectives on a mission, hoping to find a weakness, because deep down, your strength makes them uncomfortable, and that's power. But this isn't something to fear. This is something to own. This attention, this noise, this secret audience you never invited, it's not a curse. It's a sign that you're no longer in the background of your own life. You've stepped into your spotlight, and whether you wanted it or not, they're all watching. And in that watching, there's energy flowing toward you. Some call it gossip, some call it hate, some call it jealousy. But in the end, it's all just recognition. Whether they like it or not, they've accepted that you matter. They've marked you as different. They've crowned you with the kind of relevance people dream about. Not the shallow fame, but the deep kind. The kind that stirs emotions, that causes reactions, that forces people to talk about you when you're not even there. That's power. And the best part? You didn't buy it, beg for it, or steal it. You earned it with your resilience, with your truth, with your refusal to shrink. And I know, sometimes it feels like a curse. Like being noticed too much is draining. Like being misunderstood is exhausting. Like you wish they'd just let you be. But listen, diamonds don't get created in comfort. They're born under pressure. You're not just trending because you exist. You're trending because you've tapped into something most people never reach: authenticity. And when you're real in a world that rewards the fake, when you keep going while others freeze, when you glow up from the very pain they assumed would break you, they notice. That glow, it's not just skin deep, it's soul deep. That energy, it's not something you can fake, it's raw, it's earned. That's why it spreads, that's why it sticks. You're the plot twist they didn't expect. You're the chapter they thought ended, but somehow kept writing itself louder and bolder. And maybe they don't know your story, but they feel your presence. They sense your energy before you even speak. That's rare. That's sacred. That's something you should protect. Let them argue. Let them doubt. Let them spin stories in their heads while you write your truth with actions. Because real ones don't chase attention. They attract it. And that's exactly what you're doing, pulling gravity toward you, just by existing as you are. So don't shrink. Don't fade just because the spotlight feels too bright. Don't lower your volume just because others weren't prepared for your voice. You were meant to be seen. You were meant to be talked about. And even when they don't say it to your face, you're inspiring people. You're shifting minds. You're waking souls. You might not always get applause, but you will get remembered. And in the end, that's bigger than fame. That's legacy. So the next time you hear someone mention your name in a way that stings, smile, because that's proof you're alive in their world. Shaking up their thoughts, living rent-free in their heads without lifting a finger. That's dominance without effort. That's being unforgettable without screaming. And if your name is trending, it's because your journey is speaking louder than words. And that kind of impact, that's what legends are made of. It's a strange feeling. Just being yourself becomes a problem for people who've never walked a day in your shoes. You don't make loud announcements. You're not running around demanding attention. You're just existing, breathing, moving, living your truth. And somehow, that's enough to shake entire circles, to spark debates, to make people stalk your social media, dig through your past, try to find cracks in your armor. It's wild, but it's real. People will go to war in their heads, just trying to figure out how someone like you walks through storms like it's a casual breeze. They obsess. Not because you've wronged them, but because your strength, your presence, your peace is louder than their noise. And that eats at them. It stirs something in their soul they thought they buried. A longing to be bold, to be different, to be seen. But you got there first. You dared to live. You dared to rise. And they can't handle that. They stalk your life, not out of admiration, but because your authenticity is a mirror to their fear. They watch in silence, hoping to find flaws, because flaws make them feel better. Because in their world, people like you aren't supposed to be confident. You're not supposed to succeed. You're not supposed to be that quiet storm no one can stop. And when they see you being exactly that, it short-circuits everything they believe. So they argue, not with you, but with themselves. They create entire stories, twisting facts, inventing motives, just to make sense of why you glow while they stay stuck. But none of that is your problem. That's their internal war, their chaos. You've done nothing but exist. And yet here they are, clicking, talking, stalking, copying, competing with a version of you that isn't even aware of their presence. But let's be honest, it gets heavy sometimes. You feel it, don't you? That weight, that invisible pressure of being watched, the urge to retreat, to hide parts of yourself just to breathe in peace. But here's what you must remember. Your energy isn't a burden, it's a force. It's not something to hide, it's something to own. If your existence alone causes waves, imagine what happens when you truly step into your full power. Imagine what happens when you stop dimming your light just to make others feel safe in the dark. They already talk. They already stalk. So give them something real to witness. Let your success be louder than their gossip. Let your peace be more powerful than their noise. And don't waste your breath trying to explain yourself to people who've already decided who you are. Their version of you is built on fear and fiction, but your truth, it's untouchable. You don't need to fight to be understood. You just need to keep building, keep walking, keep evolving. Because every time you grow, you expose what they're not willing to become. That's why they obsess. That's why they mimic. That's why they twist your story into something they can digest. But they can't copy your soul. They can't fake your resilience. They can't replicate your journey. So they circle you like moths to a flame, hoping to steal a spark without being burned. But you're not their lesson to copy. You're their reminder to wake up. People arguing about you behind closed doors? That's proof you've entered their minds. People watching your every move? That's evidence you've left an impression. They're investing energy in you and you haven't even asked for it. That's power. That's presence. And when you hold that kind of power, you don't need revenge. You don't need validation. You don't need the world to clap. You just need to keep going. Quietly, fiercely, relentlessly. You don't need to respond to every opinion. You don't need to fix every misunderstanding. Let them create their versions of you. Let them argue over your value like it's a debate. You know who you are, you know what you've survived, and you know how far you've come. That's enough. That's always been enough. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be undeniable, to walk in your truth so powerfully. Even the ones who hate you can't deny your glow. So let them watch. Let them talk. Let them obsess. That's their hobby, not your burden. You don't need to carry their confusion. You don't need to tone down your light for people stuck in the shadows. You are not here to play small so others can stay comfortable. You are here to grow, to evolve, to shock, to disrupt, and to leave a trail of inspiration that screams, I existed and I mattered. And if that stirs up jealousy, envy, gossip, or fear, so be it. That's not your storm to calm. Your name is trending not because you screamed the loudest, but because your silence, your growth, your rise is making the most noise. Let them chase shadows. Let them drown in questions. You keep being the answer they'll never understand. There's a kind of fire that doesn't need to burn loud. It doesn't crackle or roar. It just exists, quiet, steady, and untouchable. That's the fire living inside you. And make no mistake, it's terrifying to people who've built their identity around control, conformity, and comparison. Because while they were waiting for permission, you just showed up. While they were hiding behind masks, you were busy being raw. You didn't come to impress. You came to be real. And in a world drowning in fakeness, someone who's real is like a lightning strike. They don't know what to do with it, so they obsess over it. Try to analyze it, talk circles around it, argue in their heads over how someone like you can exist so boldly, so freely, so unshaken. You didn't try to be different, you just are, and that's what unsettles them. You're the one who walks through the hallway and shifts the air. You're the one who enters the room, and suddenly people forget what they were saying. It's not about your clothes or your face or the volume of your voice, it's your energy. That silent, undeniable force that wraps around people and shakes something in them awake. And it's funny, because you've felt alone so many times. You've questioned your worth. You've doubted your path. You've laid awake wondering why you feel like a stranger, even among people who claim to know you. But what you didn't realize is that it was never loneliness. It was greatness, growing inside you. And greatness always makes people uncomfortable, because it refuses to shrink. It refuses to beg. It just rises, slowly, relentlessly, beautifully. They don't hate you. They fear what you represent. You are living proof that it's possible to break free, to grow without permission, to heal without applause. You're proof that someone can come from chaos and still radiate peace. And when people see that, when they see you existing without needing their validation, it triggers something deep in them. They start questioning their own choices. their own cages, their own silence. And that discomfort, that reflection, that's what makes them talk. Not because you asked for attention, but because your presence demands it. You're a walking contradiction to everything they've been told. You didn't wait to be chosen. You chose yourself, and that terrifies them more than any loud threat ever could. This isn't about arrogance. It's about self-acceptance. It's about finally realizing that your existence is the message, that your life, your scars, your growth, your rise, is the loudest rebellion of all. You're not trending because you begged to be noticed. You're trending because your story is powerful, because the fact that you're still here, still trying, still walking, still existing, is magic. Raw, rare, untamed magic. And people can't look away from magic, even when they don't understand it, especially when they don't understand it. So don't you dare apologize for the space you take up. Don't shrink to make others feel taller. Don't silence your laughter, your pain, your weirdness, or your fire just because someone else gets uncomfortable. That discomfort, that reaction, that obsession, it's not your burden, it's your evidence. Evidence that you're alive in a way most people never dare to be. Evidence that you're doing something right, that your soul is louder than your voice, that your steps are leaving echoes, even in rooms you've never entered. And yes, sometimes it hurts. Being misunderstood, being watched, being talked about. But you didn't come here to be liked by everyone. You came here to live so fully that even silence couldn't contain you. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're existing louder than their opinions. You're growing past their limits. You're becoming what they said was impossible. And every time they say your name, whether in hate or admiration, they're giving you power. They're pouring energy into your story. They're making you bigger without even realizing it. So hold your head high. Let them obsess. Let them whisper. Let them scroll through your life trying to decode your glow. Because while they spend their energy watching, you're spending yours evolving. And there's no argument, no rumor, no obsession that can stop a soul that's already chosen to rise. You're not here to explain your light to those who've chosen the dark. You're here to burn even if it blinds them, because your existence is proof that survival can be stunning, that pain can be powerful, that rising doesn't need noise, it just needs truth. And that truth, it's living in you. Right now, in your silence, in your resilience, in your decision to wake up today and keep walking. So walk loud, walk proud, walk like your name is trending, because it is. In rooms you've never seen, in minds you've never met, in hearts you never expected to touch. You're not just surviving, you're becoming unforgettable. There's something about you that flips switches in people. You walk into a space, quiet, humble, focused, and suddenly the air thickens, eyes shift, whispers start. You didn't say a word, you didn't brag, you didn't throw your success in anyone's face, and yet they feel it. That invisible power radiating from your energy, that silent storm behind your calm eyes, that's the kind of presence you carry. Not because you trained to be intimidating, but because your authenticity is a mirror. And when people who are busy pretending to be strong, pretending to be confident, pretending to be whole, come face to face with someone like you, someone who's actually done the work, they feel exposed. Their act slips, their insecurities rise, their jealousy bubbles. And it has nothing to do with you being wrong, and everything to do with you being real. You see, there's a difference between people who live loudly for show and those who've suffered in silence and still came out shining. You're the second kind. You didn't get here through shortcuts or staged perfection. You've been through hell, and you walked through it without a spotlight. You healed in the dark. You grinded in silence. You took your pain, and instead of screaming about it, you built something from it. That's why they can't handle your presence. Because they've spent so long trying to wear confidence like a costume while you built it from your scars. They act strong. You became strong. And that truth, that realness, it exposes the layers they try so hard to hide. They're not really mad at you. They're mad at what you represent. You are living proof that it's possible to glow without begging, to rise without playing dirty, to thrive without stepping on anyone. You remind them of everything they could be if they stopped pretending and started doing the inner work. But that journey, it terrifies them. So instead they project. They act like you're too much, like you're different, like you're doing something weird. But it's not weird, it's rare. You're not loud. They're just used to silence. You're not intense. They're just uncomfortable with truth. You're not arrogant. You just stopped apologizing for existing. And it's painful, isn't it? Carrying a presence that turns admiration into envy, that turns curiosity into obsession. You just want peace. You just want to move in your lane. But your light keeps dragging shadows out of people. And you didn't ask for that. But you were built for it. You were shaped for a path that would require you to be seen even when you wanted to be invisible. You were given a presence so loud that even your stillness makes noise. You're the kind of person who enters a room and makes people question their masks. And they don't like that. Because pretending is easy until the real thing walks in. You carry something spiritual. Something magnetic. Something they can't name but can't look away from. You are both a challenge and an invitation to rise, to evolve, to be better. But not everyone is ready for that. So some will hate. Some will gossip. Some will make up stories just to feel like they understand what they can't control. And you have to keep walking. Not because you owe them a response, but because you owe yourself the right to rise without restraint. You owe your younger self the glow-up you promised. You owe your future self the freedom you fought for. You owe your soul the space to stretch without fear. Let them be triggered. Let them fumble in confusion. That's part of the journey. You weren't meant to be liked by everyone. You were meant to wake people up. Some will love you for it. Some will hate you for it. But either way, you'll never be forgotten. Because when someone lives so boldly, so honestly, so powerfully, their presence becomes legacy. Not because of what they said, but because of what they made others feel. And you make people feel. You make them rethink, reevaluate, reflect. That's your power, and you don't need to shout about it. You don't need to argue. You just need to exist. Loudly, unapologetically, freely. You are not a trend. You are not a phase. You are not an accident. You are a walking disruption to everything fake, small, and shallow. You were not made to blend in with the noise. You were made to be the sound that silences everything else. And if that triggers people, let it. You're not here to make everyone comfortable. You're here to be unforgettable. So here you are, still standing, still rising, still the name on their lips. They can't stop watching you, not because you begged for attention, but because you became undeniable. You didn't scream, you didn't chase, you just existed louder than they expected, and that's the power you carry, that's the weapon you were born with. Presence.